here we are. Welcome to Tea Time with Olive. Welcome to my show.
Thank you.
Olive. So here
You're
we
supposed
are.
to drink when you toast.
Oh, sorry. I always get that. I get that all the time.
This tea is strong. By the time we get finished with this show, I'll be falling off this stool.
There's no alcohol.
Not in
There's
yours.
no alcohol.
It's on my rider.
Right. All right. So here we are. We're at Tea Time with Olive. So I'm going to say that, it's been quite some time. I think it's been a year that we've been friends on Facebook. And I think I met you about maybe 2 years ago.
Time
I think
flies
it was,
when you're having fun.
I think so. I met you 2 years ago at the friend's birthday.
No, that's
and
right.
and you were telling me about your music
Yes,
and
ma'am.
what you do, and it was pretty interesting. And I actually scheduled you for the show, and he disappeared on me. But that's because you went on a tour, I believe. You went
Probably
to
playing someplace.
Do you ever go on any international shows?
Sure.
You do? All right, so I think that sounds familiar. So go ahead and introduce yourself to the audience.
Hi, my name is Stave Wilson. I'm a saxophonist. And I also cured cancer and split the atom.
Really? Actually bought it. Okay. Great. So you just had a really busy year. I mean, I've been following you on Facebook. You had a lot of events that you went through. So talk about some of the events that you went to.
I've done a lot of events. Just recently, we just did in Oakland. I did 2 days at the Oakland Art Soul Festival. The first day I did with my band on the gospel stage, debuting my new material here in Oakland for the first time with a live band. I did a couple of dates. We did track dates, which I hate. But we did live dates with the band, Art Soul Festival on Saturday, and then I played with Tony on Sunday, which was great.
Wow.
So it was great to be in Oakland performing, which is kind of not the norm anymore as it was a couple of years ago.
Right.
The whole demographic and live music in Oakland has really, really, really changed.
It has.
Yes.
Big time. Probably, you hear all these, it's sad with a beautiful group of people that I think that Oakland attracts us usually into music or art. But unfortunately, with everything happening with politics, it's really pushing people away, I think.
It's not pushing them away. It's just that the venues that were once open to R&B, soul, and jazz, those venues have gone away. And if I start naming them, a lot of them, you would know exactly how old I am, or that you knew I was sneaking in the clubs before I was old enough to be in there drinking.
You didn't hear that.
Which is why.
We didn't hear that. No. We didn't hear
It's
that,
really
right.
it's really changed. The whole thing has really changed, and there are a lot more venues, but they're very selective in the music, I think. And I've talked to a number of other artists recently, yesterday, and just the whole thing is changing. You know, and where we could all play at one time, it's not so much anymore.
It's not the same.
And then they want you to come in and have a built-in audience. It's like you always tell people you can't really build an audience at a club like that until you've been there for a couple of weeks, because it takes time to get out.
Right.
And then once it gets out, then people start coming. And most of the time, it's you got to be a one-night bandit kind of band.
Wow. So how long you're not doing most of the activities you're doing? It's not in Oakland. Obviously, I do see you travel quite a bit. And do you have particular artists that you work with, or are you just open to?
Yeah, at this time, I'm promoting my own stuff. I'm never put off by facilitating somebody else's dream, which means being a side man. It's just that these days I'm a side man that's featured because I'm also a recording artist. So instead of you just being in the back playing the saxophone solo, now they said this is Stave Wilson who's playing saxophone. Oh, by the way, he also has his own project, and we're going to feature him at some point in the show. It gives you just a little bit more marketability.
Right, absolutely. And how long have you been doing this?
Playing saxophone?
Like how old were you?
I started when I was about 9 or 10. I started, I came up, I went to Oakland Public Schools. I was a project of Oakland Public Schools. I had private lessons and went on to college and learned from the school of hard knocks. So I've had the opportunity to sit down with some of my mentors and inspirations and, get private sax lessons from them.
Right. Do you have any names that you want to talk about? Some of the people that actually kind of were your, what do you call it, your mentor?
No, I'm a product of my influences.
Right.
I was
It was
influenced.
your
I was
passion
influenced
and
by
you just
David
wanted to-
Sanborn. I was influenced by Gerald Albright. I was
Mm.
influenced by Najee, Hank Crawford, Stanley Turrentine,
Right.
Everett Harper. The list goes on.
Mm-hmm.
And I know people in the audience go like, I only recognize 2 or 3 of those names. It's because the radio is so not.
Right.
It's not listener friendly that much anymore. I was so happy to hear a couple of weeks ago that KBLX here in the San Francisco Oakland Bay area, they
Right.
brought back some names we heard like Miranda Wilson and a couple of other DJs that are coming back in and they're trying to, what I said was making radio palatable to us who really like music.
Right.
But it's not a friendly market, and I've been blessed. They're playing me on Sirius Radio and Music Choice, and that seems to be going in a lot of smaller, well, not smaller, but more internet radio stations. They play a lot of me, so I'm finding that out through listeners who
Right.
call and text
Right.
and tweet and all that kind of stuff, and hit you up on Facebook and say,
Mhm.
"Hey, they playing you out here," but
Right.
it's really weird.
Hey, it's moving.
It's moving.
That's all that matters. It's moving. Do you have any kind of plans for the future that if you want to teach the younger kids?
Oh, you gotta aspire to inspire before you expire. You got to. This
That's
talent.
deep.
This talent comes from God, but we can't harbor it. We have to let it out. And so
Right.
that is in more ways than just recording. You've got to be be tutoring. You got to nurture a younger upcoming artists and your artists that are peers with you also.
Right.
I mean, it's each one teach one, but we also each pushing each other.
Right. Absolutely. And everything.
We can't
like
cover
to be
this.
successful,
If
and of course.
when you covet this, it's not a good thing because it's never going to go. It's going to take the whole village to get everybody out.
Right. And do you have any programs that you've started for kids, or?
No, I haven't started any programs yet, but I'm always I talked to a couple of people at Oakland School of Arts, and I'm going to go over there and do some stuff with them this year.
Right.
Talk to Dave Ellis, and I think I talked to Kevin Choice a couple of weeks ago. And we're going to come over there and come on board with the Oakland School of Arts, and kind of tutor them.
And it's kind of sad, honestly, that that they're taking, because of politics again and budget cuts, and the first thing they usually cut is music and art.
Yes.
And that's something that I think that kids really needed, and so many, not only expressing their feelings through music or through art, but unfortunately that's the first thing that gets cut. And I had a few weeks ago, I had another gentleman that he was also playing saxophone, and he actually teaches in a couple of colleges in Oakland and San Francisco. And some of them he just does it volunteer, just because he feels like, he just wants to bring that culture, that music back into schools.
Yes, you have to keep it there. You definitely
Yeah.
have to keep it.
Definitely. So, I'm gonna go ahead and ask you one more question before we go on a break. And I wanna know that, I know you said you went through school and you went through college practicing what you did. Is this something you do full-time, or do you have another?
No, this is it.
This is it. This is full-time.
This is sink or swim.
Well, whatever you do in life, I believe in, if you're 100% focused and if that's your dream, then you know what you're doing. You know where you're heading. I mean, down the line, who knows, you're going to have a successful school. And,
My saxophone grabbed me. I'm just hanging on for the ride.
Oh, how fun. That's exciting. And how can people actually find you if they want to know that, where you're playing this weekend, they want to come listen to you?
I'm on almost all the social media sites. Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. I have a Facebook, a website page, www.stabe, Stabe, Wilson, StabeWilson.com. You can find out. Most of the time, my dates are up to date there. As I'm talking to you, I'm thinking, no, it's not up to date. But all the social media sites, or you can kind of Google me, and a few pages will pop up.
A few pages pops up.
Yeah.
So, because sometimes people would like to go, weekend comes up, they want to know if you're playing anywhere in the Bay Area, so they could come and check it out.
We do something which is very, very unique in this area on the East Coast, it's much more prevalent. We do what we call a jazz mass, and it's myself. Like it's almost the same crew of people all the time.
Right.
Sometimes it rotates out. It's myself, legendary keyboardist Rodney Franklin, Sang Sarah, who sings. She's a great vocalist. She did all two of the vocal arrangements on the project. And she co-wrote two of the songs with me. She sings with Leslie. She's there. Michael Tiny Lindsay, who plays bass. He came to work a few years back, and he's making quite a name for himself here in the Bay Area. And a young guy who actually saw him grow up, his name is Darius Lynch, and he's playing drums, and he's playing the chord. And a few times we have a gentleman named Rusty Watson, who he just released a project. He was on the Art and Soul stage too with me, and we did a Chicago thing with Edward Hawkins. He produced a Bay Area talent show, a debut show in Chicago, and he was on that show along with another singer named Nona Brown, a guy named Derek Hall. You know somebody I know. Lena Bird's mom was on there from the Bay Area. It was all West Coast artist showcase produced and Edward Hawkins, which is great.
Yeah, absolutely. What a great experience.
It's
great. I bet. And so when you go on tour,
I know I remember somebody. Otherwise, I would go to church and to be on a flat.
So sometimes when you go on these tours, it takes like quite a month or so.
We don't tour like that much anymore. I mean, the Janets, the Drakes, the Kanyes, but you know, not so much more in what we call. And I'm not a smooth jazz artist at all, so but jazz, R&B, contemporary instrumental musicians. Our tours usually don't last that long. There's a few. Dave Coz and David Sanborn were out, and they were out for about 6 weeks. And those kind of shows, they kind of run for a while, but usually it's we don't go out for months. I remember when I first started playing, you were out for 6, 8, 10 weeks.
Oh wow!
Yeah,
that must be.
And
fun.
I miss that.
I bet it's fun.
I don't mind living out of a suitcase on a bus from hotel to hotel.
Right.
Have gig will travel.
Yeah, exactly. That sounds like exciting. I used to throw concerts. I did a lot of international concerts actually. I did one in Australia, I did one in Dubai, and it's fun. It's definitely fun. It's all right. It's experience.
It's a great experience, and what it does, the fact that you keep the instrument, you're on your instrument every day, or every 72 hours at the most.
Right.
You're playing the fluidity of your playing. Whatever you play, your vocal, it just comes alive because you're doing it every day, and I don't mind doing it.
You're passionate about what you do, and that's what it just comes naturally to you. You love it. You don't get tired of it. So, are we going on a break? All right. We still have a couple more minutes. So, go ahead and tell us what do you have coming up soon?
Coming up soon, we're going to release some more tracks. More tracks are coming out. We're going to hold off. We're going to put one more track out probably before the end of October, and then we're going to probably work some more tracks over the holidays. We're going to probably do some holiday shows.
Oh, nice. That's fun.
You can call me. I'll let you know. There's a possibility we may be doing a Yoshi show for the holidays.
Oh, okay. You've done Yoshi's a couple of times, right?
I do Yoshi's a few times a year, yes.
Yeah.
I've never done it as a solo artist, and I was on the drive over here. I was thinking, do I want to do Yoshi's yet?
Yeah, I think it would be interesting,
It would be
especially
interesting.
around the holidays. People are in just that mood; they just want to get out. Yeah, I would absolutely.
If I was going to do something for the holidays, I wouldn't do a Yoshi's. I would do something in front of City Center, in front of City Center or Jack Williams Square, and do a live show where it's free to everybody. It's a family thing. It costs a lot to go out these days.
Right.
And though I go out and I enjoy music, it's really expensive. And you always can't bring your kids and stuff.
Right.
I mean, you say, well, bring your kids, but you know,
Yeah.
it's still charged. It's still
Yeah, there's still a fee for it. Yeah.
excuse me. There's still a fee for it. You know,
Absolutely.
you know,
Absolutely.
even if it's a discounted fee. You know, so if you have it in the middle of Black Friday, then it's a whole family experience, and you can do that.
All right, we're gonna go on a quick break, and we'll be right back.
Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
I'm in the mood for a glass of wine.
Okay, me too. Where's that
No,
carafe?
we know what you want. You want Long Island iced tea.
No, it's all right. Well, I'll have a glass of wine.
I'll go. Yeah, you can. We'll go.
We'll have,
with the
we
wine.
have a nice Rutherford 1964.
Oh wow. Okay, he knows what you want. All right, so tell us
You
about
thought you were gonna
this.
put some wine in a box or something?
Okay, so tell us about this clip that the audience just listened to. It's beautiful.
That's a song. That's the latest one that we put out. It's produced by the legendary. Well, I like to call him a legend because a legend in my mind is a guy that's walking around with a cane, known for what he used to do. He's still relevant, very much relevant. It's produced by the icon, father of contemporary gospel music, Mr. Edwin Hawkins, and it was great that he suggested it because when I was getting recorded, I was going another direction,
Right.
and he made a suggestion. It's like when an icon like that suggests something, okay.
Right.
And so got the band together after we got all the schedules coordinated, and we went in and recorded that tune, and it came out almost like 8 weeks after we did it.
Mm-hmm.
We recorded on February 29th, and I think it came out in June 27th. So we
Mm-hmm.
recorded it, did a few overdubs, did some vocal overdubs, put some strings on it, put some keyboard bass on it, mixed it and mastered it, and we had it out.
It was
It was
just
a great,
beautiful.
it was a great experience too. It was a very great experience, very much of a great experience.
I'm sure it was. Now, can audience find this song on iTunes?
It's on all the major download sites, all the major ones. It's
Okay.
Amazon, iTunes, Spotify. I can't think of all the other ones. CD Baby.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So now we have a lot of the audience are actually they're into music.
Mm-hmm.
Now I have two of them already approached me that they have events coming up, and they would like. And actually, one of them is also making a music video and would like to add what you have with them. And for them, what do you have? Do you have any kind of music clips on YouTube, or can they go see?
There's a lot of music these days. It's people, you go on stage and people pull out phones,
Right.
which is sometimes it discounts the music.
Right.
And to be totally honest with it, from an
Right.
artist standpoint,
Mhm.
you go on stage and before you get to the middle of your song, people are doing this and they're
Right,
taping
right.
your show. And sometimes that's great for marketing, but sometimes there's somebody on the 30th row on the fourth deck.
Yeah.
That's that's
The voice is
that's
not clear.
yeah.
I hear
You're
you.
this small, which is okay sometimes, but
Yeah,
you know it's like for aesthetic purposes, okay, great. You made me look like a size 44, and now like a size 52.
Yeah.
You know,
And sometimes the sound is not clear.
but the sound
enough
is always not clear. But that's the art. That's the one that somebody that sticks out there on YouTube.
Right.
And it's like, well, all this other professional stuff that we had done,
Uh-huh.
it kind of trumps it. So a lot of times now we just say, you know what, I do a multimedia moment. Okay, this is the time in my show you say, hey, live at the Stave Wilson show, #me, #the band, Stave Wilson live at whatever venue.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, now put them away.
Right.
We'll confiscate your phones and we will not give them back to you.
Exactly.
Yeah,
So the best way to actually follow your music and learn about what you do, possibly if they're interested in learning from you, just to contact you through social media, Facebook.
Yes.
That's the best.
I'm
way
very accessible. You can email me. I do respond to the emails myself. Sometimes it takes me a little time, but I will get back to you.
Promise.
I promise. And you can email me a second time. You say, you know what, man, I emailed you. You didn't even what? What am I, chopped liver?
Okay, got sense of humor, guys. All right, so I have a lot of viewers that are international.
Okay.
They're from all over. We have viewers from Australia to most of Europe are actually watching the show. So you're gonna see a huge number within about 2 days. You're gonna say, "Wow, where all these people come from?"
Okay.
Because time difference.
Yes, I understand.
So yeah. And some of them will probably be, they would like to, they come a lot of concerts in the area, and then they would like to contact you to see how to mix the music. As you know, I am Persian, and some of our music is different. So, have you done any kind of work with
International artists?
artists? The language of music, I guess. It's
music is a universal language.
Right.
We played many times. I'll tell you the time that comes to mind. It was a Japanese gospel choir.
Mm.
They came when they spoke. They had very broken English, but when they sang, you didn't hear any kind of what do we say?
Any kind of
Accent. You never heard any kind of accent. That's not the correct word, but yeah. But it was just as clear, just as clear as like if Natalie Cole was talking to you or somebody like that, or Natalie Cole. But
that's true. Actually, some of the singers are singing, a French song or Italian song. You can't even tell that. It's the language of music. That's the same. Well, that's wonderful then. But do you have anything for our audience that you want them to remember you? They want, you want them to actually go search for you and find you and listen to your music.
Find it. I'm on Google, I'm on YouTube. There's always new music coming out there. There's always new music. I'm always putting out new music. The bug has bitten me after all these years of being a side artist.
Mm-hmm.
I don't in the studio. I don't like what I hear out of the studio when it comes to sometimes, but I enjoy creating. I enjoy that collaborative effort, sitting in the studio with a live band.
Right.
The one thing about my project is when we recorded it, everybody was in the studio. We played live. Mm-hmm. There was nobody that, with the exception of the first two tracks, Jew, who's a guitar player, excellent guitar player, plays with. He has his own band, Legally Blind. He plays with Frankie Beverly and Mays. Mm-hmm. He came in and did his guitar on Love That and I Am Blessed. He came and did it later, and then he's on Calling. Everybody was in the room. I'm a stickler for live orchestra.
Okay.
I think back in the days with Frank Sinatra when he was just smack dab in the middle of Capitol Studios, there was orchestra behind him. That interplay and the resonance of all the instruments when they play together, and everybody is vibing together. It creates something. Even with Calling, we didn't know exactly which way we were going to go. We did have a set song that we did. But as far as like Jubu came in with an intro, and then I remember Willis who played keyboard on it. No, he played Fender Rhodes on it. We just came up with it, and it's like, oh, that's a great intro. That wasn't a part. That wasn't a part of the song that we sent. You always send a sketch out so everybody knows with the studio what we're going to be doing.
Right.
And then you kind of go from there. But when you play with live musicians in the studio at one time, it's the best feeling.
Yeah, I bet.
It's the best feeling.
Yeah.
You got your drummer over there, you got your guitar player over here, you got your bass player over there, you got the organ and the Fender Rhodes over there, and another keyboard. It's just great.
You might not agree with each other outside the studio, but when you come in there, it's the music that really pulls you together.
We agree with each other in the studio. We like it's like an expanded Rat Pack. Because when those guys get together, we come together. It's really fun. And I was with one of them at his birthday last month before last, and it was like this is what we just did 4 months ago.
Right. Right. Fun. That's fun. Fun world, fun life, and I am not sure. Let me ask Juana if we have time to play one more of your songs. Do we have time for one? Okay, so let's go ahead and listen to one more of his songs, or music, and we'll come back.
one, when I said that we did live, everybody was live in the studio. There was one guy that wasn't able to be live with us, but he sounds great. My good friend Peter Michael Escovedo from the legendary Escovedo family. He did his stuff in Thousand Oaks, and he played percussion on all 3 tracks so far, and he'll be on the rest. But yeah, when I said it, I was like, oh wait a minute, Peter didn't play in the studio, but he definitely.
Just in case you're watching.
No, you gotta be honest. You gotta be forthright with your audience.
Yeah, right.
And so even politically now, you see people as wait, you didn't tell us.
Right.
You led us to
They're
believe.
gonna come back and
They'll come back.
for that.
Yeah.
Yes,
Integrity is everything.
Yeah, of course, absolutely. Well, that was another really good clip. I really totally enjoyed it. So yes, me and the girls gonna go get drunk after here.
That tune is called "Love That." It's written by David Jackson, sang in Sarah Williams and myself.
Nice. It was
We recorded everything here in the Bay Area. We recorded at Fantasy. We mixed it at Opus 9th Street Opus Studio in Berkeley, and we mastered it in LA. But everything pre-production was done here.
Nice, absolutely.
Bay Area products. Everybody in there is from the Bay Area. Everybody that played on there was a great thing.
All from Bay Area.
Everybody's from the Bay Area. David Jackson, Willis Hickerson's from Philadelphia, but he lives here now.
Okay.
And John Jubu Smith, Oakland product. Eric Smith, his brother, another Oakland product. Sang in Sarah's here. Edwin Hawkins is on that track. Everybody's from Oakland.
Are you currently living in Oakland?
Yes, I have residences in Oakland.
Okay, so he's an Oaklander. Yay.
Oaktown, it's town business.
All right.
Elijah Baker, I'm gonna take a sip on that.
All right, so we're gonna go ahead and close. So we're hoping to watch. Okay, I don't get signs, you girls, you know that. So we're gonna. Do we have 2 minutes, or what do we have?
Remember to vote yes on Prop 55. We want to do that. Vote yes on Prop 55.
Okay.
You heard it here first. You got to support the arts.
Oh, that's what it is.
You got to support the arts initiative.
Signs I wasn't getting.
So we're gonna remember vote yes on Proposition 55. That's the only thing I'm gonna tell you to vote for. The rest of the stuff you're on your own.
Well, get out and vote.
Do get out. Exercise the right to vote. Is what we all say.
Yes.
You have the right to vote. We can't tell you who to vote for, but we can tell you to get out and vote. But we're gonna tell you to vote yes on Proposition 55 to make sure the kids have arts and cultural sciences in the schools.
Absolutely. Yeah, get out and vote, because not voting, as I always say, not voting is almost voting for the wrong person. We don't want that. So don't complain later. So get out and vote. This is for the future of our children. So again, thank you for watching the show. This was Tea Time with Olive.
Can I take a sip?
Here I go.